The sun rose over Troy, its golden rays spilling across the ancient city, painting the stone walls with the promise of a new day. Yet this was no ordinary morning. The air itself seemed to tremble, as if the city and all who dwelled within it sensed the weight of destiny pressing down upon them. Long shadows stretched from the city's mighty ramparts, reaching out across the land like the fingers of fate. The sunlight, usually a symbol of hope, now cast an uneasy glow, illuminating the silent preparations of a city on the brink. The dawn did not bring comfort, but instead heralded the heat of battle. The plain before Troy shimmered with anticipation, the haze rising as if the earth itself was holding its breath, waiting for the first clash of steel. Across the fields, two mighty armies stirred to life. Greek and Trojan alike donned their armor, tightened their grips on spears and shields, and exchanged silent glances with comrades. The air was thick with anticipation, every heartbeat echoing the coming storm. For a decade, the Greeks had camped on these foreign shores, their black ships lined up like a patient predator waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Each vessel bore the scars of countless skirmishes, a testament to the relentless siege that had become their way of life. But today, something was different. The tension in the air was sharper, the sense of fate more palpable. Among the ranks, a hero prepared to step forward, ready to challenge not just mortal foes, but the will of the gods themselves. The sounds of war began as a distant murmur, armor clinking, whispered prayers, the soft thud of marching feet. But soon, these sounds swelled into a thunderous roar as thousands of voices joined in a chorus of defiance and courage. The battlefield became alive with the energy of men prepared to lay down their lives for honor, vengeance, and glory. On one side, the Greeks, united by a burning desire for vengeance and the hope of reclaiming lost honor. On the other, the Trojans, standing firm to defend their homes, their families, and the very walls that had sheltered them for generations. Across the plain, two worlds stared each other down, each unwilling to yield. This was more than a battle for a queen or a city. It was a clash of civilizations, a struggle that would echo through the ages, shaping legends and destinies yet unwritten. The fate of Troy, and perhaps all of Greece, hung in the balance. Every soldier, from the youngest recruit to the most seasoned veteran, felt the weight of history pressing upon their shoulders. They knew that their actions this day would be remembered, their names spoken in awe or sorrow by generations yet unborn. The battlefield was not just a place of violence, but a stage upon which heroes would be forged and legends born. Here, the whims of the gods would decide the fortunes of men, and the dawn of this fateful day would mark the beginning of an epic struggle that would never be forgotten. As the two mighty forces drew closer on the dusty plains, a stark and unmistakable contrast began to emerge between them. The air was thick with anticipation, the ground trembling beneath the weight of thousands of warriors, each side bracing for the clash that would decide their fate. The Greeks advanced with stunning discipline, every soldier moving in perfect unison, their shields interlocked and spears angled forward. They were a single, unified entity, driven by a shared sense of purpose and a decade-long resolve to conquer Troy. Their silence was intimidating, a cold and calculated resolve that had been honed by years of relentless warfare. Each Greek warrior's face was set in stone, betraying neither fear nor excitement, only the determination to see the battle through. In stark contrast, the Trojans surged forward with wild, chaotic energy. Their ranks were filled with a cacophony of shouts, war cries, and the clatter of weapons, each man eager to prove his valor and defend his homeland. The Trojan army was like a raging river, powerful, passionate, and unstoppable in its momentum, but lacking the Greeks' tightly directed force. Their courage was undeniable, but their energy often spilled over in unpredictable ways. The Greeks, on the other hand, relied on rigorous training and unwavering unity. Their greatest weapon was not just their arms, but their ability to act as one, each man trusting the next to hold the line. Commanders like Agamemnon and Odysseus directed their troops with precision, their orders clear and decisive. These leaders inspired confidence, ensuring that every Greek knew his role in the coming storm. The Trojans, meanwhile, fought with the desperate fire of men defending their homes and families. Led by the noble Hector, they drew strength from the very walls they sought to protect, their hearts burning with patriotism and pride. Each Trojan was a hero in his own right, fighting with unmatched bravery. Yet, their fierce individualism often led to tactical disarray, as personal glory sometimes overshadowed the needs of the group. While the Greeks moved as a single, crushing fist, the Trojans often fought as separate fingers, strong but lacking the unity that could turn the tide of battle. This fundamental difference in strategy and spirit would prove critical in the conflict that was about to unfold, shaping the destiny of both armies on this fateful day. High atop Mount Olympus, the gods gazed down upon the mortal world, their eyes fixed on the unfolding chaos of the Trojan War. To them, the battlefield below was more than a clash of armies. It was a living chessboard, each move and countermove echoing their own rivalries and ambitions. Apollo, radiant god of the sun, Aphrodite, goddess of love, and Ares, the fierce god of war, all threw their support behind the Trojans, guiding their chosen heroes and whispering strategies into mortal ears. On the other side, Hera, queen of the gods, and Athena, goddess of wisdom and war, stood firmly with the Greeks, determined to see Troy fall and their own honor restored. The influence of these divine beings was felt in every clash of sword and shield. Storms would gather or disperse at their whim, and the courage of men would rise or falter with a single glance from above. At times, the gods themselves descended from their lofty heights, their forms shimmering like mist as they moved among mortals, offering cryptic advice or lending strength to their favored champions. Their presence was unmistakable, an electric charge in the air, a sudden chill, or a blinding flash of light. The very atmosphere of the battlefield seemed to thrum with supernatural energy, as if the world itself held its breath. In these moments, a hero's greatest triumph could be snatched away by the whim of a spiteful god, or a moment of despair transformed into victory by a sudden surge of divine favor. The war was no longer just a struggle between Greeks and Trojans. It had become a proxy conflict for the gods themselves, their ancient grudges and jealousies playing out through the lives of men. Every soldier fought not only against his mortal enemy, but also against the invisible hands of fate and the unpredictable will of the immortals, shaping every outcome. In this world, courage and skill alone were not enough. To survive, to triumph, a warrior needed something more. He needed the favor of the gods and the hope that destiny would smile upon him. Amidst the chaos, Diomedes shone with terrifying brilliance. Athena breathed into him a strength bordering on the divine. Diomedes became a force of nature, cutting through Trojan ranks. His spear never missed, his shield impenetrable. Trojans faltered before him, seeing the divine fire in his eyes. Diomedes fought with intelligence, his fury tempered by tactical awareness. Wounded by Pandarus, he prayed to Athena for strength to avenge it. Athena granted him the ability to see gods on the battlefield. She warned him not to challenge immortals, except Aphrodite. This set the stage for a confrontation that would shake heaven and earth. Diomedes' fury first struck Pandarus, the archer who wounded him. Goaded by Aeneas, Pandarus charged at Diomedes. Pandarus' spear struck Diomedes' shield but was stopped by divine protection. Diomedes, unfazed, cast his spear, killing Pandarus instantly. Aeneas leaped to protect Pandarus' body, but Diomedes hurled a massive boulder, crushing Aeneas' hip. Aeneas, beloved by the gods, was saved by his mother, Aphrodite. She descended to the battlefield, carrying him away in her arms. Diomedes pursued, his chance to strike a goddess. Aphrodite fled, leaving Aeneas protected by Apollo. Diomedes saw Aphrodite carrying Aeneas and remembered Athena's words. He pursued the goddess, filled with battle fire and Athena's blessing. Diomedes charged, his spear ready, closing the distance with speed. Aphrodite, unaccustomed to battle, panicked as Diomedes bore down. With a precise strike, Diomedes nicked her wrist, drawing golden ichor. Aphrodite shrieked, dropping Aeneas, who was protected by Apollo. The wounded goddess fled to Olympus, weeping in her mother's lap. Diomedes had crossed a line, proving his courage knew no bounds. He had attacked a goddess, a violation of the natural order. His actions sent a clear message: mortals could challenge the divine. Diomedes' rampage continued, turning to Aeneas shielded by Apollo. 3 times he charged, repelled by Apollo's power. On the 4th attempt, Apollo warned Diomedes to remember his place. Chastened, Diomedes retreated, but Ares, enraged by Aphrodite's assault, joined the Trojans. Ares rallied Hector, turning the tide back in Troy's favor. Diomedes recognized Ares' hand and ordered a strategic retreat. Athena reappeared, taking the reins of Diomedes' chariot. She reminded him of her protection, urging him to face Ares. With Athena's guidance, Diomedes charged Ares, striking him with his spear. Ares roared in agony, fleeing the battlefield, leaving destruction in his wake. Ares' flight had a profound effect on both armies. The Trojans, losing their divine champion, were filled with despair. The Greeks, inspired by Diomedes' feats, felt a surge of strength. With divine favor, the Greeks pressed their advantage. The Trojans' disorganized ranks crumbled under the Greek assault. Hector fought valiantly, but the tide had turned. The intervention of the gods culminated in a Greek victory. Diomedes proved his legendary courage, serving as a conduit for divine power. The battlefield had a clear victor: the Greeks, ascendant and inspired. As the day closed, the battlefield told a clear story. The Greeks stood firm, their dominance re-established. Diomedes' deeds transformed the war's psychological landscape. Hope burned brightly in the Achaean camp. The Trojans retreated, their spirits crushed by the day's events. Ares and Aphrodite, their divine allies, were humiliated. Diomedes' legend was cemented, inspiring every Greek warrior. The sun set on a transformed world. The balance of power shifted. The epic battle reached a pivotal turning point thanks to Diomedes' heroism.